Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marvel Plus podcast, the show where we talk the Marvel shows on Disney Plus and how they connect to the MCU. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live with Artemis over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. You can drop a follow over there. You get notified when we go live. You can join in the fun and conversation and theory talk. But if you can't catch live, that's A-OK. And go over to YouTube the very next day where it's dropped. You can check it out there. Leave a comment in the comment section below of what you thought of what's going on with the show, movie, etc. And we'll get back to you. Today, we're covering The Marvels. A little late, I know. Didn't see it opening weekend. But we're here to talk about it. And, talk about the ups, the downs, all the fun stuff that happened. Unlike our series shows, we're just going to kind of shoot from the hip here. We're not going to recap the whole movie. We're just going to, like I said, kind of overview it, talk about what we thought was good, what we didn't like, all that stuff. And to be honest, I liked a lot of it. This movie's great. I don't know why it's getting so much negative feedback. Maybe it's just an online thing. Who knows? But short, sweet, to the point, and just thought it was a fun ride the entire time. Obviously, we get more of an introduction of Monica, Spectrum, Photon, whatever we're calling her. We get more of her, a build on her character, as we obviously saw her in WandaVision. Now she gets to be in the movie, and same with Miss Marvel. Kamala being in here for her first movie. We got the whole, 6 episodes? However long her series was on Disney Plus. So we got a little bit more exposure to her. But seeing those two come into the movie franchise, or rather that, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Get into the film part of it instead of just the series stuff is good. It's interesting. And I think the three of them, along with Carol, meshed very, very well in this film. Had a lot of fun dynamics between the three of obviously learning the relationship, building it, and dealing with the stuff, the problems that they were dealing with. But thought it was very, very good. So, along with thinking it was good, what else did we think? Once again, I think Kamala's actress, okay, I'm going to butcher this, so I do apologize. Iman Vellani, she absolutely crushes it. She nails it. We spoke very highly of her with the Miss Marvel series on Disney Plus, as Artemis has a lot of thoughts. Hey, come here. You want to talk about Goose? At least he is somewhat relevant to you. But Iman totally nails it. And is great as the character. So I think she did a fantastic job following up, obviously what she did in the series, as this takes place immediately after, which also, shout out to Kamala with this taking place right after her series. Like, she just did the whole getting her powers thing. She did the little montage, as they do, before the end battle. Like, she kind of flows or gets right into the thick of things in terms of like fighting off the bad guys and like using her powers very, very well, and in like collaboration with the other two. So good on her. Like, really got her shit together in a tight knot there. But yeah, Iman crushed it. Very fun to see what she would go through. Obviously meeting her idol, and then learning more about the balance. Obviously being more captured, not in a negative way in terms of someone did that, but obviously the situation they were in, being away from her family, but diving into this thing head first, and just kind of going with the flow, rolling with the punches. So that was fun. I wish we got a little bit more in terms of like how they did a little bit with her series, and they did at the very beginning of this movie. They did kind of like that drawn art style. I wish we got a little bit more of that with her, but I guess this movie was more supposed to focus obviously on Carol's stuff and then the three of them as a whole. So we couldn't deep dive too much into her specific stuff, but that would have been nice to see a little bit more of. Also, granted, shorter movie, not a bad thing though. So she crushed it. So let's see. Villain was okay. Not too much going on with Dar-Ben here. I think that's Tom Hiddleston's partner as of not too long ago. So, hey, cool to see her. Yeah, she did fine. It just didn't seem like the villain was super... They had a good reason for everything, like with follow-up on the events of the first movie, and then trying to restore, obviously, the Kree and her people's world. All the motivation made sense and was good. It just didn't... Coming out of this, I don't think it's going to be the strongest villain and most memorable villain. Nothing wrong with her performance, just in terms of writing and what had happened. It just was like, they have an agenda, she's going to chase after it and try and do that. And when it comes to the fighting, she was powerful-ish with the Ronin-esque hammer. I can't remember, was it unstoppable weapon? It was something silly. With that, and then the other bracelet, which I appreciated we brought that in. Wow, I can talk, sorry. Almost immediately, as they allude to that once again in Kamala's series. So seeing both of that, like, obviously she was powerful, but once again, it just, nothing seemed to resonate. Like, even though Ultron was another villain that was one movie, he felt more powerful. Now, granted, it's Ultron, it's a little bit more of a well-known name, especially in, like, comic book households. I don't know if Dar-Ben has really been a thing. This might be more of a deep dive type character. Not sure. But at the end of the day, I don't think she'll be very memorable, at least in terms of the character. Once again, performance, not bad. Just in terms of a character, a little bit on the weaker side. Once again, Kamala's family's in here. They absolutely crush it again. Doing a great job of having that kind of hectic family overbearingness. But they, once again, added comedic relief, which this film had a lot of, even with Fury, which leads to question when in the timeline this takes place. I would presume this takes place after Secret Invasion, but you would think he'd be a little bit more downtrodden, or at least disturbed, perturbed, whatever in this, if that is the case with the timeline. But he was joking around constantly. It was a very fun movie, which is good. Good overall. We got some fun cameos. We got an interesting one with Valkyrie showing up, alluding to some kind of relationship with her and Carol. Cool. Awesome. So we got her cameo. At the very end of the movie, we did get Kate Bishop, so follow up with Hawkeye series. So it seems like we're building into a Young Avengers team. We got a call out, but didn't see her, for Cassie Lang, so mini Ant-Man. Not so many, but you get the point. That second generation. So at least for the Young Avengers team, once again, seems like the path we're going. We have 3. I don't know who else would go into this. I was debating if maybe Harley from Iron Man 3. He's grown up now. Does he get involved with this? I would think, what's the girl's name from Wakanda Forever? Not new Black Panther. I guess you could include her because she's also on the younger side. Oh crap, hold on, let me look this up. It's Ironheart, whatever her name is. Sorry, Ironheart. La 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 la. Wakanda Forever. Oh, her name is, well, as the casting, they literally just put Ironheart. Bruh, come on, what was her her name? Anyways, you know who I'm talking about. So Ironheart, she could be part of it. And then I was also like, because it's a lot of obviously female representation in the Young Avengers, no problem with that. But I was wondering if maybe Peter, does Spider-Man get involved with the Young Avengers? Like, if we're thinking age bracket, Kamala's like 16, allegedly here. Kate Bishop, I believe, when she was called at the end with the whole Fury kind of jokey around with Kamala recruiting her, she said she was 23. Peter, I believe, just graduated high school. Like, obviously, he's got his apartment now after No Way Home. Yes. Living on his own. So he's either just graduated high school or he's soon after that. It's been a little while since I've watched that movie, so I do apologize. So he's around that age bracket. Is he going to be part of this? I don't recall if he was part of Young Avengers in the comics. I don't think so. I think he was aged out of that bracket. But I could see that. That would be kind of cool. Obviously, he would have a lot of experience with the Endgame, Infinity War, and obviously the problems he's dealt with New York City and his adventures. Could he fill this type of leadership role? Obviously, Kamala seems to be the organizer right now, just with the access to the Saber stuff, of the intel on the iPad. But I think that'd be a fun twist. Obviously, Peter's got a lot on his own plate, as we know from No Way Home and where we left him. But just, once again, in terms of age bracket, maybe that could work out. And in terms of male characters, because I don't know, at least off the top of my head, who else could fit that. Not that we need it, but just thinking. And yeah, so let's get into the big one. Let's get into the end credits scene, because holy crap, I freaked out. And I'm sure like a lot of people freaked out. So we get to the end of the movie. We got a rip in the space-time continuum thing. And they decide, okay, we got to use all of our powers together to close the gap. Monica's going to absorb the power, and then she's going to go to the other side, and she's going to punch it back. And how our other two heroes didn't realize, oh, she's going to be on the other side until it was too late. She's closed herself off, and they even said this was a breach into another timeline universe, whatever the exact language was. So she closes it, saves the day, yippee. And now she's in that alternate timeline. We get her in the end credits waking up. She's in a hospital. She's her mom. Now, okay, obviously she thinks, oh my God, I'm dead. This is mom in the afterlife. So she's freaking out like, hey, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. I haven't talked, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is an emotional moment already. I immediately jump to, oh shit, this is the Doctor Strange universe we saw. Could be, but I don't think it is, as we'll learn later. I'm like, oh my God, she's in that universe that we saw in Multiverse of Madness. Maria here claims not to be her mom. She obviously has not had Monica in this universe, so she's like, well, there's a disconnect there. But then we hear a voice off of camera saying something about Monica's status. Sounds very familiar. We get the reveal that the X-Men are finally in the MCU, as we get the reveal of Beast. Kelsey Grammer making a return as his appearance, or as rather his portrayal of Beast. Full CGI Beast, it looked not awful, but facially could be a little better. I will say that. But man, oh man, that was, woo, very exciting. We get the mention of Xavier. No, we don't see him, but we do see that they're down in the X-Mansion, that underground base that the X-Men have. It looks very similar to, akin to the old X-Men films, which is great. So yeah, we finally get him. It seems like, obviously, we're going to go the alternate universe path where they exist there and not try to shoehorn them into our canon 616 universe, akin to Loki, that we have here. Obviously, this has been a talking point for a long while of how are they going to get the X-Men in there, since they, acquired Fox, Disney acquired Fox, getting those rights back. How are they going to implement them? We talked about was it the snap? I think Rocket Raccoon mentioned like the radiation from that, or there was some type of explosion. But like there was always these fan theories of like, how are we going to get mutants in there? How are we going to figure this out? Obviously Scarlet Witch is different. Quicksilver was different. They were made by the Mind Stone. Like, how are we going to figure this out? I think this is a smart way to do it. Do the different universe. Obviously, if they continue after Secret Wars and all this mumbo jumbo stuff, which is a whole nother conversation of success, business, etc. If they'll even bring them into this universe. But with us just building towards this cross universe storyline with Secret Wars down the line and the Kang Dynasty, if we're even still doing that, I think this is smart. You can give them a whole history in this universe. We can explore it now with a character we know from 616 and have that connective tissue. But yeah, it's really cool to see. I'm excited to see more of the characters. Like, obviously, we have the characters we had introduced in the Fox series with the original and then the First Class run. Obviously, you know, varied successes from those stories. And then obviously you have the Wolverine spinoffs and the Deadpool stuff. We've had some cool characters. We've had some not cool characters. So it'd just be I'm interested to see what Disney and Marvel can do now with these characters, what they'll change, how they'll look, etc., as we continue to explore them here. But very cool to see Beast. Cool to see Kelsey Grammer making his return. And yeah, just more please. But it won't be probably for a while. Now, I don't know much about, obviously, Maria's shtick. Obviously, in Multiverse of Madness, I believe she was just the Captain Marvel role. I don't know. Her suit looked different in this one, and I'm not sure if she's supposed to be a different hero. I assume she'd be a mutant if she's at the mansion. I did not recognize the symbol on her chest, so that doesn't help me at all. I'll try and see if IMDb has it here as some kind of listing. Of course, now I gotta find her in this list. Let's see. Nope, are you not going to give it to me? I don't think you are. Well, that sucks. Is this one? Lashana Lynch. I literally just looked at her name. I don't think that was her. Sorry for... Oh, it is. Okay, so she's some character named Binary, apparently. Let me look that up. See, now we're really getting into the thick of it. Oh, interesting. It's a Carol Danvers duplicate, apparently. Let's see. Powers. Yeah, give me the important stuff. Seemingly those of Carol Danvers when she was Binary, although she has no physical body. Okay. So it seems like she's a Carol Danvers, or sorry, rather a Miss Marvel, just in this universe. I don't know what the little 2 slashes, 1 vertical slash was. That seemed odd. But yeah, I'm curious, because obviously with the events of Multiverse of Madness, we saw Wanda go a little psycho and kind of kill everyone in that Illuminati meeting. So I don't think it's that timeline. It's probably just another version. So I'm curious why the different outfit, and we'll have to learn what her backstory is. But yeah, very exciting stuff. Looking forward to seeing, obviously, where that path takes. Yeah, guys, I just really enjoyed this movie. Honestly, I would put it on the higher end for me personally in terms of the movies we've had in Phase 4 and Phase 5. I know I've bitched and moaned about, like, oh, we're not building anything in these other movies. Funny enough, I didn't even care in this one. I don't know if it's just a burnout and, like, whatever. I don't know. I just had a lot of fun with this one, being self-contained, having fun with these characters, seeing what they, you know, how they interacted with one another. I really enjoyed the power jumping, especially when they got the handle of it, just seeing the 3 of them pop in and out, doing their thing. And yeah, like, it was comedic, but I didn't think it was over the top comedic as I talked about with Thor 4. Like, it felt like it hit a good balance. Like a Ragnarok, that was a good balance. I thought this was a good balance where the comedy didn't take over and we were still able to have this serious, sounds like the wrong term, but a focused storyline and narrative where even though the villain was a little bit undersell, I thought they did a good job here with the story narrative, and it was a fun time, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope people turn around on this film, because it's not bad. I don't know why people are avoiding it. It could, once again, it could just be the burnout. I understand we've had a lot of Marvel content, and we've had a lot of content that hasn't nailed it on the head. Granted, we've also talked about it, the highest of highs in Endgame. Like, that's such a moment that we built to. It's going to be very hard to duplicate it, and the bar is set so high. So now, with follow-up and things not hitting or resonating, it's hard to retain that audience. So if it's just that, I get it. I can't blame anybody for being like, nah, not for me. I mean, Loki I was interested in seeing, but didn't like make time for it until the very end. So if it's just one of those things where people aren't feeling it, I get it. It's unfortunate because this movie suffers for it and it's good, but I get it from a viewer's perspective of like, it's too much. Not this movie specifically, but just like everything else is going on is too much, and it hasn't delivered in terms of quality. So why should I continue investing my time in it? And that's totally fair, you know? So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911, and this has been another episode of the Marvel Plus podcast. If you guys want to ever catch the show live, you can always go to twitch.tv/Enigma911. You can drop a follow over there. You'll get notified when we go live, so you can join in on all the fun theory talk and discussion. But you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Drops the very next day over on YouTube. You can give it a watch over there and let us know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out for this one. Hopefully we'll see you guys back for, what do we got? What If Season 2, which looks exciting. I enjoyed the first season. And we got Echo coming up. We got a whole plethora of Marvel stuff coming up. Movie-wise, I don't know what's next. I think we got a little bit of time. Yikes. But hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you guys later. Take care.